offers his latest response to his critics. Democrats use Rush to distract from their own failures. That's the headline. Well, yet Democrats don't seem eager to let up on the conservative talk show host, and neither do some anti-war vets. This all started when Rush Limbaugh appeared to call critics of the Iraq War, quote, phony soldiers. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid responded by denouncing Limbaugh from the Senate floor, in fact. And today, a group representing some of those soldiers is out with a new political ad. Look at this one.
More and more troops and veterans of Iraq believe George Bush's military policy has been a disaster. I am one of them. Rush Limbaugh called vets like me phony soldiers for telling the truth about Iraq. Rush, the shrapnel I took to my head was real. My traumatic brain injury was real, and my belief that we are on the wrong course in Iraq is real. Until you have the guts to call me a phony soldier to my face, stop telling lies about my service.
What an ad. Well, Brandon Friedman is with VoteVets.org, the group behind the ad you just saw. And Joe Watkins is an MSNBC political analyst and also a Republican strategist here to talk with us about it. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, Tamara.
Joe, I want to start off with you. Do the Republicans need to denounce Rush Limbaugh?
No, not at all. Rush Limbaugh made a comment about Jesse McBeth, who is somebody who claimed to have served in the military, claimed to have served in Iraq, and didn't really do so. And as such, that's who Rush Limbaugh was talking about. And Rush went so far as to say that, but of course, he's been smeared this time. It's kind of unfortunate. This is a huge controversy now, thanks in part to people who want to misinterpret what Rush Limbaugh had to say.
Well, you mentioned Jesse McBeth. That's a gentleman who lied about his war record and was brought up even on charges for it by the Army. But I got to bring you in, Brandon. This ad, you got behind this. It's a very strong ad. Is this necessary at this point?
Well, it is, because if you look at the transcript, Rush Limbaugh was clearly not talking about Jesse McBeth. He didn't bring that guy up until several minutes later. What Rush has shown is a pattern here of demonizing soldiers who disagree with him. He did it a week ago when he called us phony soldiers, and then he did it again yesterday when he was challenged in the commercial. He went after the soldier Brian McGuff, who was in the commercial, and he compared him to a suicide bomber. And this is a guy who himself was injured in a car bombing attack. So I don't know where Rush gets off doing that.
Well, let's listen to what Rush Limbaugh said in his response to all this criticism he's getting.
What I want to do now is demand that Harry Reid come on this program and confront me like a man. You want to come on this program and call me unpatriotic? Come on this program and call me unpatriotic. You want to call me a liar? You want to tell me that I did not say what I said? You come on this program and you tell me to my face that I said what I did not say.
So, Joe, you've got Rush Limbaugh telling Harry Reid, come in here, and then you have the soldier featured in that very compelling ad saying, tell me to my face. It's a lot at this point, and it's a distraction, many people believe.
Tamara, you said the perfect word, which is distraction. That's what it is. It's a sad distraction for the American people at a time when we are at war with Iraq, and Americans are certainly have honest disagreements about our involvement there, and we should be talking about that. Instead, what we're talking about is whether or not Rush Limbaugh really meant when he said phony soldiers. And the truth of the matter is that it's meant to be a distraction after what happened in the last few weeks and with some of the defeats that Democrats have had with regards to trying to cut funding for the war or attach timetables to ending the war. This is yet another distraction for the American people, and it's a sad one. We ought to be talking about more important stuff.
Brandon, I heard a member of your organization say earlier, listen, though, these soldiers are hurt by this kind of talk. It does hurt them. And the gentleman featured in that ad, he had shrapnel in his head. This is a very serious issue for him. But I've got to ask you, would you do this ad if the MoveOn.org situation had not taken place with General Petraeus?
Oh, absolutely. This has nothing to do with MoveOn.org. This has to do with Rush calling soldiers who disagree with him phony soldiers. And what Rush said, he challenged Harry Reid to come on his show. Well, we've put out our own challenge. Brian McGuff, who was in the commercial, and John Stoltz, chairman of VoteVets, have both challenged Rush to have him on their show. Now, I can also tell you that we have Iraq and Afghanistan veterans lined up who would be willing to go on his show to confront him about calling us phony soldiers and for comparing Brian to a suicide bomber.
I think that's not the fight at all, Tamara. I think that the people that represent us and put their lives on the line in time of war are people who we ought to honor, and we do honor. But I think this is a phony fight, really, because it's meant to distract the American people from the real challenge.
It's certainly a fight, and we'll see if Harry Reid accepts Rush's invitation, and if Rush will accept the invitations of these veterans, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks so much, Tamara.
Sure.
Thanks for having us.